get ready for the Liam Washington rendition of Saxon's Crusader.
Oh shit, it's lit.
Okay, first off, we gotta imitate the instruments too. So it's dun 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 dun.
I don't know this.
Then we start doing Eye of the Tiger, because that's what I'm leading into. But anyways, we go with we start off lyrically. First, imagine the setting. It is 1200s England. A poor peasant boy looks up at a noble in full plate armor as he's marching with the group, and he says to him, "Crusader, Crusader, please take me with you. The battle lies far to the east. Crusader, Crusader, don't leave me alone. I want to ride out on your quest." Nigel would be singing along with me if he was still here.
Nigel is not here. Simon, sing along with him. Oh, Simon's asleep.
Yes, so,
that was pretty good, by the way.
That was my best lead-in ever. I actually tried, so
if you're
gonna laugh at my vocals,
don't laugh at his vocals.
Just realize that I was actually trying there.
Those were actually pretty good.
Alright.
Those were good, yeah.
So anyways, today on the Dreary, we're going to be talking about music, because some people value our opinions.
At least one person has to value our opinion. One person.
We got the one fanboy out there. We're going to go to a con, and we're going to have our one fanboy. He'll be wearing a shirt that says,
fuck the Dreary Erie.
It says Egglord on it.
Egglord?
And it would be like he's just wearing an NL shirt, but you get the gist of it.
I just befriend all the NL fans.
So I'm gonna start off by saying, as anyone could tell from my beautiful introduction there, I am a huge fan of metal, and particularly the 80s style British new wave metal. That's my jam. My favorite band is Iron Maiden, basically hands down. Though I really do love Saxon, and no one is allowed to diss Saxon in front of me. Brendan can't, because he hasn't listened to them that much, besides what I have shoved in his face.
And what he shoved in my face is pretty good.
Now Brendan is a fucking hipster.
I am apparently a hipster.
And he listens to the genre known as faggot hipster music.
Is it faggot hipster music?
You go and look at any AJJ music video. Underneath there's an inscription that says faggot hipster. And that's before the subgenre of, punk or anything like that. Is
faggot hipster.
Faggot hipsters.
Punk.
Fucking faggot hipster folk punk. Simon and Garfunkel loving ass, motherfucking shit ass, AJJ loving fucking ghost mice bitch.
Hasn't even mentioned the fucking White Stripes. What are you fucking doing? You fucking Garrison?
I was leading up to that because it's the most disappointing aspect.
Oh, I know.
Even though I actually love the White Stripes.
The White Stripes are
The problem is there's not much disagreement with music with me and Brendan. Our biggest disagreement seems to be I have an end when it comes to the edginess. I sometimes, he just sends me music, I'm like, this is too fucking edgy, I can't stand it. I'm just gonna go back and listen to my Clanad albums.
Was that Andrew Bird? No, that's not Andrew Bird. That's
not the soundtrack. Andrew Bird was good.
And that was probably Hospice, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, yes, you're damn right. But not the soundtrack to Clanad, mind you. I love the Clanad, the band.
The band, yes.
Beautiful people.
Oh my god. We may have finally made someone besides us understand that there's Clanad the show and Clanad the band.
I should make my own video about this, but I don't have the means to do it yet because I suck at things. Guys, I know this is supposed to be about music, but hear me out. I know the Irish language. June Maida does not know the Irish language. He was all like, you know what? I really dig that band Clanad. That album Bonba. That was, or Bunba, terrific. I loved Bunba.
Bunba was good.
So he's like, you know what? I know, because I'm a smart man, and the CD jacket tells me so. Clanad means family, and I'm making a story where I want to stress the ties of family, so I'm going to call it Clanad. Never once did it occur to him to fact-check this. And now, whenever I try to look up Clanad music, I must name the specific song I'm looking for, or otherwise I will be inundated with Clanad the visual novel, or Clanad the anime. And mind you, Clanad After Story is my favorite anime of all time, but They totally fucked with the band's brand recognition. So when I'm watching an Irish television documentary and the guy's like, because I'm only listening to Irish music, I need to listen to Clannad. Only people in Ireland are like, oh, the Clannad's a fine band, aren't they? While everyone else is like, Clannad, oh my god, Nagise is my waifu.
I'm like, fuck you for not recognizing Fuko as the superior waifu here.
At least Kotomi, man. Come on.
Come on. But Fuko is the superior.
Speaking of Clannad, the game though, great soundtrack.
Great, yeah, it had a good soundtrack too. So, whether or not you realize it, back on topic, music is literally all around you at all times.
I beg to differ. I know people who are like, except literally here.
Yeah, exactly.
Korpiklani's album Noita, their newest album. You can get it now.
Noita. AJJ, Bible 2, just released today.
This is when I start trying to read the lyrics from a song in Noita. Let's go with Emen Hauta, because that one is terrific. This is just my demo, isn't it? I'm waiting for someone to discover my voice. He has an angelic voice.
Alright, he sings, I write, we're one big happy family.
Oh my god, I can't even... anyways, yes, I have the lyrics to Emen Hauta here, but I'm not going to do a spoken word version of Emen Hauta.
Why
anyways, not? Because it loses all of its... when you don't know how it works, you know, it loses some of its greatness. Oh yeah, I've got Lempo here.
Lempo? Simon, what do you think?
Oh yeah, here's the best part. Huvinan menit meka laisen tulesta tulisan nedon takavaskisen valoni taita taidan lemelene. I have no idea what that means. Sounds badass because it's in Finnish.
And I come from, obviously, the Jack White school of thought towards music, where it's basically sacred, where whether or not... Basically, it's what influences me a lot in my life and choices. I'm constantly listening to music.
Most of the time music's the only thing that gets me to do anything. Like, I'll just be sitting around, and because I'm a depressing motherfucker, I won't have any inspiration. But then I play, like, Witchfinder General, and I'm suddenly pumped to do things. But then, if I play something like When the Wild Wind Blows, I, like, almost cry, because I'm like, this is so powerful.
Yeah, and then there's me, that I listen to Hospice, and I'm like, this is very powerful. I'm not crying, though. It's powerful. It's a song about, literally, a man's wife being in a hospital, and, the struggles of going through horrible, I believe it was like cancer or something, that couldn't be treated, and them knowing that it can't be fixed and there's nothing to do about it.
But you know, it's
the edgiest shit I've ever listened to.
It's such bullshit to me, because like you're focusing, you're good with representing. Oh god damn, it's the Ohio alarm.
The Ohio alarm.
Yes, you're good with like stuff pertaining to lyrics, but you know, I've got like a big thing where, like, people have been like, and I need to go back to my weeaboo culture here, people are like, man, Angel Beats made me cry, or Planet After Story made me cry, and I'm like, none of that made me cry, but when you up the irons, and you get, like, something like The Trooper playing, by, like, a lot of things by Iron Maiden, that's got me on the verge of tears, because it's just so beautiful, because Bruce Dickinson is like a fucking angel, and his voice is like the Metatron speaking directly to you. And he's saying, yo man, the charge of the Light Brigade, that was some fucked up shit. And I'm like, it was some fucked up shit, God. Good point. I told Brendan this myself, is if I try to mimic Bruce Dickinson, like I can't do a good Biff, the head singer of, like, the lead singer, the vocalist of Saxon, but I can at least try to imitate him. With Bruce Dickinson, it's like a man trying to imitate God. It's like standing at the altar and attempting to take the position of Jesus Christ.
It can't be done.
I'm assuming that's what trying to be Jack White is like as well.
Yes, the pursuit of me being like Jack White is meaningless in the end. Or, like, any musician's meaningless in the end, because it's like trying to be my own god.
You know, people bag on, like, AJJ's, like Sean's singing, but I've tried. It's so damn hard to sound anything close to AJJ's vocals.
Well, yes, like, if you... I'm gonna wait, save that. I'm gonna say...
Were you gonna
what
say
Liam's saying is, like, Jack White just released a old track from the White Stripes that was never released before. When I was listening to it for the first time, like, oh, I just kind of sunk into the chair and became a puddle. I was like, it's very, this is relaxing. This is good. This is sad, but relaxing. And I slowly just melted, and it was beautiful, and it was wonderful, and it's a very surreal experience. Having a track released for the first time in, what was it, like 12 years.
Actually, like, going back to Noita here, when I first heard Emanhauta was, like, so freaking powerful. And, like, I was surprised, because I got Noita for, like, a steal at a record store. It was so much cheaper than all their other albums. And, like, Emanhauta is, for those who don't speak Finnish, which is everyone, that is the witch's burial, or, like, the witch's grave. And it's about these guys, like, burying a witch on hallowed ground, because that was, like, her wish, but they didn't get far enough, and they had to bury her in the forest. And it's, like, really powerful, and, like, I have to give credit to, I guess the lead singer's name is Yona. He just gives so much, he has so much emotion, that, like, and that's the big thing about singing, and I think that pop music lacks, isn't even, like, the necessary... the strength of the vocals, because trust me, you listen to, like, Sabaton, there's some shit lyric writing there. Like, their lyrics can be garbage, but Joachim knows how to actually emote, which is something most pop singers, I think, never learned to do, is to actually share their emotion when they're singing, you know?
I mean, like, have you heard, you've probably heard, You Have Her in Your Pocket by the White Stripes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I remember one of the 2 times, I believe, I've seen Jack White in concert. He was on the verge of breaking down in tears singing the song, and it was just this really magical experience of pure emotion.
Notice you're wearing a White Stripes shirt, I'm wearing a Doctor Who shirt.
I come prepared, Liam, you don't. You come
Wait, I've got such a British ensemble going on here.
I need to go home and get my fucking coat, apparently. God damn it.
Yes, this one is British.
Yes, I have the same coat as you, though.
Isn't it beautiful?
Is it who makes your coat?
Oh shit, I don't have the...
You don't have the patch anymore?
No, I've got the patch, I just can't see it right now.
Alright, we'll check after.
But I'll make a coat update.
I started writing, and then I started writing poetry, and then it's slowly become this thing where I can't listen to the radio anymore, because then I start looking at the lyrics, and I'm like, this is so simple. It's garbage.
Someone please teach Joachim Broden, or not him, whoever writes the songs, how to properly pluralize words in English. Because it doesn't even fuck up the flow of the song, mate. You just need to do it. I know in Swedish you don't, because the verb is the same no matter what, but you need to figure this out, man. I mean, it's a serious problem. I'm listening to oh god, it's the Japanese one, Tokiyama,
the new one,
or something, whatever it is. Yeah,
yeah, that was really good,
and it's such an awesome song. But there's that one grammatical error, and I'm like,
fuck.
60-1, the sword faced the gun. It's the last stand of the samurai, yo. That was great. They also did a song about the Battle of Bannockburn. Maybe I made you listen to that. That one was good.
I remember the first one you mentioned. I did listen to. But I don't remember the.
It's Shirayama. That's it, Shirayama.
It was a very good track. I was like,
I was really. I'm talking about like specific albums right now, but
like
okay.
I can tell you like albums upon albums and tell you about albums.
Shirayama, man, is good. It's the best track I've heard from that album. Even better than like I've listened to the entire thing at this point because obviously buying it. Because Sabaton, I'm a fucking mark. But Shirayama surprised me because I thought it wasn't going to be as good as, like, Winged Hussars. But it's as good as Winged Hussars, and it's probably just a bit below the actual Last Stand. Lost Battalion's really good, too.
On the note of, like, albums that are coming out, that seem to be very that have come out actually already that we pre-ordered and are very emotional is the Bible 2, which is a funny story with the name in its own. But it's this...
I swear AJJ's just fucking with us. They're like, we changed our name so it wouldn't be offensive. The Bible 2, new album.
We're not going to offend any of the Arabs, so we're going to change our name.
I'm going to be offensive here and say they just don't want to be blown up. Because they don't sing about religious, like, okay, they sing about religious themes, but they never sing about Islam or criticize Islam. So they're like, you know what, it would suck if we get blown up just because we have jihad in our name, when we stay away from that issue for the most part.
But it's a very emotional album, and they seem to have this system with their albums where the second last track, since Knife Man, has always been this very, very powerful track about themselves.
Well, yeah, because what they did, Little Red Boy.
Little Red Boy.
Yeah, Little Red Boy. Yeah,
feels a lot like Big Bird.
It does. Like it echoes Big Bird, kind of. Yeah.
Which also echoes.
Actually, it straight up echoed Knife Man in lyrical composition. I felt so smart when I listened to Brave as a Noun, and I'm like, oh, what they're saying is that they're using the word brave as a noun. The brave. Which honestly is a plural noun, and like, I guess it can be used as... That's like, brave is used as a noun, it's just not used very often.
I love how you, like, with a lot of AJJ tracks, you're like, alright, I feel smart because I understand it. Then the Bible 2 came out, I was like, I feel like an absolute idiot, I don't understand. Because it seemed to hit a new level of complexity, let's say.
Yeah.
Because, like, Little Red Boy is kind of ambiguous of what it is. It can be interpreted multiple ways. Obviously, the Little Red Boy is...
Oh my god, do I have the best album in the world?
Do you have the best album over there? Is it Super Smash Bros?
No, oh, that's Mooter. I have Mooter over here. No, somewhere lying around here, I have Tales from the Kingdom of Fife, the best album ever made by any band ever.
The best album made by any band ever?
Yes, because this is the one that gave us the lyrics. Okay. Fireballs and lightning are raining from the sky. Chaos and bloodshed as all the people die.
Holy
In
shit.
this epic battle begins the final war. Destiny has prepare thee for the unicorn invasion of Dundee. Da-dun, da-da-da-dun.
Did you just say the
unicorn
invasion?
Unicorn invasion of Dundee. Da-dun, the townspeople have little hope. They were not ready for war. Fireballs make everybody die as buildings collapse to the floor.
But is Serbian artillery guided by God?
Sorry, I like Bosanska artilleria a bit better. Bosnian artillery.
You like Bosnian artillery? Oh my god.
Sarajevo something 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 Tuzlagrad something something.
Let's use the unicorn to transition to the unicorn. So, here's my heartfelt story about grade 9 music and how
invasion of Dundee.
So back in grade 9, I took a drama class. Sorry, we won't talk about drama class. What happens in drama class stays in drama class until I make a podcast about drama class. We did.
I feel like you're so much further away from the mic than I am.
I am very far from the mic, and it's just because I don't.
You're like tiny little bubbles. People be like, what's he saying? What's he saying? And then I'll be like, Unicorn Invasion of Dundee! And they'll be like, oh my god, fuck you.
Except when I laugh, which will, like, break the mic. So, I took music in grade 9. Terrible idea, because I have no clue how to play the bass guitar. I nearly failed the course, but one of the songs we played was Farewell to Nova Scotia.
Which is a great song.
Which is a wonderful song.
My favorite version of it was by, actually it's by the Irish Rovers, yeah.
And so, I then went on this magical journey
I swear
by
Shanniganic did one too.
the Irish Rovers, where I found...
Great band.
Where my mother's like, oh, the Irish Rovers, yeah. Your papa likes them. I'm like, sweet. What else have they done? And thus I found the most magical track I have ever heard. The Unicorn. And so I discovered... That's kind of how the weird, hipster, bizarre music spiral started. Then Liam eventually said, here's AJJ. And I was like, sweet, what is this?
Yeah, I introduced you to AJJ. Ha.
And this started, along with First Aid Kit, went down the hipster music spiral. And I started finding more and more bands. I started getting deeper and deeper and started finding these really bizarre bands. Like Andrew Bird, which I would never have heard about. Which is a very NPR band. There's some bands which can only be described as like National Public Radio kind of bands. Where you can imagine the radio host talking about the song and talking about...
And then the AJJ just introduced me to bands like Ramshackle Glory.
They're good.
Yeah, they're pretty good. But because of me and basically being in the European metal scene so much, into that, I never really sunk full into the hipster scene.
But I did, and I started finding things like Neutral Milk Hotel. Actually, you said, hey, you should check out Neutral Milk Hotel, after I said, yeah, I like AJJ. And then, like, months later, I'm like, didn't he say something about a band like Neutral Milk Hotel? I listened to Aeroplane Over the Sea. I'm like, oh my god, this shit is lit as fuck.
And I first learned about Neutral Milk Hotel because I have a musician friend who told me about them. And then I later heard them on the last episode of the Colbert Report as well. And I was like, pretty damn good.
I mean, I heard King of Carrot Flowers first, because I obviously listened through the album. I'm like...
I was so happy when I found out AJJ did a cover of Two-Headed Boy, though. I was like, wow.
Well, that's the other thing. I did hear the cover of it first.
I didn't, but I still thought it was pretty awesome.
What is this cover? What is this originally like? I listened to it, I'm like, they're both equally good. We can't...
And then AJJ introduced me to the Misfits in the most beautiful way, which is in Rompilation, which is probably their least popular work. And it's just
Isn't Rompilation just a bunch of covers and demos?
Yes.
That was given out for a Kickstarter, if I remember right?
Exactly. So, they have on that a piece called Joe Arpaio is a Punk, and I can best describe it as a fusion of the Dead Kennedys' California Uber Alice and the Misfits' Last Caress. And that was when I learned about the Misfits, and that has started a huge thing for me, because the Misfits are a lot like me. They're both punk and metal at the same time.
I think through AJJ, I was listening to an album on the internet, or I must have been listening to Neutral Milk Hotel, and an album called All We Have Is Each Other by The Ghost Mice shows up. I'm like, this looks ridiculous and I have no idea what this is. Is that Bernie Sanders as a bunny on the cover? I click on it, I'm listening to it. I'm like, alright, I can write to this. I don't listen to lyrics, and then suddenly halfway in between, I start listening, I'm like, what the fuck am I listening to? I start the whole album over. I start putting the pieces together, and I'm like, holy shit, is this an album about, like, suicide and, like, schizophrenia and depression?
I'm Liam here with the Bunny Sanders Band.
The Bunny Sanders?
The Bunny Sanders Band.
Is that what we're going to name it? Bunny Sanders?
Bunny Sanders.
Bunny Sanders.
Bunny Sanders.
Bunny Sanders.
We went through, like, the Michigan frickin' like, Renaissance Fair, just saying Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders!
Bernie Sanders!
Bernie Sanders!
Gonna make America great, but not in the Donald Trump way.
We aren't gonna build a wall. We're gonna build free healthcare walls. Shoot healthcare into people. And they're gonna be good.
I'm gonna go through my albums here.
You want me to go through my albums in my head?
Okay. I've got, like, just a few that I have with me right now. Mutter by Rammstein still has the price tag on it.
Sweet.
Pretty sick album, not gonna lie. Heidefolk, Ut oder Grond, I don't speak Dutch, is the literal translation of the title. But it's really good, mostly because it has, this is one that has Dondergod on it.
Dondergod.
And Nihilenia. Nihilenia is everyone's favorite. You know, like, Vorwärts, over the Jagen, vorwärts, Nihilenia.
Yeah?
Yes, and then I have Valhalla Wacht.
Valhalla Wacht?
By Heidefolk, which has Saxonland and Wodenhurst, which is basically... Those are the reasons to get it. It also has Valhalla Vocht, of course, but that's not as good as Saxonland. And then I have Fintroll's Blodsvept, which is pretty awesome. They're a Finnish band that sings entirely in Swedish because they hate their country.
Alright, what albums do I know I own that I can go through? Distilled, White Stripes, White Blood Cells, Elephant, Icky Thump, The Bible 2 I now have, Aeroplane Over the Sea, On Avery Island.
I have it here somewhere, but I have the Heroes album by Sabaton. I got the special edition, dog. Over there I have the Decemberists, The King is Dead.
I have Bookends. Wednesday morning, 3 a.m., I believe it is.
The very best of the Chieftains.
The very best of the Chieftains. No, it's not a Chieftains album.
I do have the very best of the Chieftains.
Unicorn. The best of Johnny Cash. Not American recordings. Just the best of.
I have very few vinyls, but I do have Power Slave, and I've got The Power and the Glory, which is not even anywhere close to Saxon's best work, but it's what I've got.
Bridge Over Troubled Water. That's the Simon Garfunkel one I was missing. Maggot Brain, I believe it's called. I don't even remember who that's by. Beer Barrel Polka. We're not going to go into the 78s. Fuck that. I have too many 78s.
This reminded me of the fact that I could have gotten Yavon Polka, but I chose not to. Yavon Polka as done by Corpiclani, the best version.
Simon, what do you think about Corpicarpi?
He loves Corpiclani. He's listened to it many a time. That's what he was listening to. That's why the headphones are there.
Oh, I see. What other albums? I gotta go through them. First Aid Kit. Can't remember what the album's called. Let's see. I'm going through them all. Shoot, I have so many albums. I collect vinyls primarily. Like, that's how I get most of my music. And sure.
You spell English words phonetically. You get a lot of mileage out of it.
Do you?
Anyways, yes. If we're just talking about like let's see. Maybe we should talk a bit about like different subgenre fascinations, or so to speak. Because I hate country. I think that's not a controversial view to have. A lot of people hate country.
Yeah, you gotta go to old country. Like, a modern country band that I like would be Shaky Graves. But Shaky Graves operates in the style of the 70s country.
I'm gonna listen to old country, so I'm gonna take my time machine back to Anglo-Saxon England.
I presume I sent you Shaky Graves at some point.
Of course.
I must have.
Of course.
Because I really like them. And when I like a song, I'm like, an album, I'm like, here, Liam, listen to this. And he's like, why do you send me this shit?
You know, surprisingly, like, I'm not a huge fan of black metal. Like, I do listen to it, but it's not my bag. I am your typical asshole who likes power metal. But I did really like, I sent you Ulver before. I know, they're one of the few bands that I've ever sent you.
I sent him a lot of music. He does not send me much.
Okay.
Because I go down the hipster hole. And
So, essentially, what Ulver did is, well, I sent, I specifically sent you one of their folkier albums, but
yeah,
they're generally like black metal, but then of course, like, Norway is just the best place for black metal, because of course where it originates from. You can get, Theater of Terror, I guess, those are the more well-known ones, and of course I subscribe to them. I can't really find obscure Norwegian metal, because I'm not living in Norway. Otherwise, I'd find it. But
to go down the hipster faggot music hole, you got to go on YouTube. You got to find an album that's considered hipster faggot. I would recommend starting at Andrew Bird. That's pretty easy. Then you click on the band that's like Preacher something. I Love You, Honey Bear, and then you just go from there. And slowly you start getting this more and more surreal sound, and you're like, this is how hipster faggots do it, don't they? This is how it's always done.
I just remembered my favorite Norwegian band. Not a metal band at all. Kaiser's Orchestra, Gypsy punk.
I don't know any Croatian bands, so I don't know any Serbian bands.
Kerber. We know Kerber.
Do we know Kerber?
You know, let me think. It's the Yugoslav band. Shit, you remember that Oxide video?
Oh, that's what you have to say.
No, I'm trying to remember the actual name of the song. It's War Games, but I can't remember what the actual name of it is.
I can't remember. I remember the song though. I do remember.
God damn me for not knowing Serbian.
Yeah. You mean? Yeah, Serbian. The only Slavic there is.
Yeah, so that's the only Serbian band I know of is Kerber.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I'd say I've got the music that I listen to ones mostly from Europe. I do know at least one good Tunisian band, but for the most part Europe. I've given up on the American music scene for the most part.
I have not. I tend to stick to Canada, America, and that's basically all. There's some Sweden in there with First Aid Kit.
Let's see, my favorite bands come from Finland, Sweden, Germany, and Ireland, mostly.
And I realize I'm listening to mostly 90s, which is very odd.
Basically everything from Ireland I listen to is Clannad or the Chieftains.
Because City and Colour is a band you need to listen to if you want to feels your way through the hipster lifestyle.
You know Dio was cool.
You've listened to City and Colour. You must have at some point.
Yes, of course.
All right.
I just want to divert the conversation, because when we get we get into that, then we get into hard hitting questions about life.
Like what kind?
You know what?
Like Sleeping Sickness, the song about how his wife has night terrors, I believe, and so he wrote a song about it for her. And it's sweet. The
kind of music where you should go listen to Joy Division afterwards to cheer yourself up.
You know what's fun? People don't listen to lyrics, and that's what I've learned. You can't get off writing these days because people don't listen to that. They don't
sad.
Listen to lyrics. So at school, my mother works at a school, and at gym one day, as a song in the background, they were playing I think S&M by Rihanna.
Oh yeah,
that's a hell of a song to play at a school, isn't it? And then Pumped Up Kicks, a song about a school shooting.
Okay,
what the fuck?
I got the best one for that.
I was talking to someone at McDonald's where I work, and they're like. I was like, you know what's a good song to play at school? Pumped Up Kicks. He's like, why that? Think about the lyrics, dude.
Well, think about
all the kids with Pumped Up Kicks better outrun my gun. And he's like, oh my god.
The most underappreciated song ever to be played at any workplace has got to be I Don't Like Mondays by the Boomtown Rats. Because there are so many people saying to me, either this song sucks, or they just say, what the fuck is this song even about?
It's not that hard.
It's not hard, guys. It's about a school shooting. Come on.
She's going to make sure no one goes to school. Everybody's going to stay at home.
Yeah, come on. It's
not that hard.
And it's actually pretty good. But Boomtown Rats were a band that heavily got by on the fact that their lyrics were really good and rather meaningful. And people are just like, nah, fuck that shit.
Weezer's a band that I get.
And then, I see these kids, there's garbage pop music that all these kids, I'm 19, I shouldn't even be saying this.
Don't worry, I understand, I feel like an old man.
Everyone in my age group is is singing these pop tunes that just suck. And I'm like, how did you memorize these? And I know the reason why, it's because it's playing everywhere. Because they don't play a good diverse amount of music. Even when they occasionally will go back and they'll be like, hey kids, remember when Iron Maiden existed? Those guys were cool. They'll play The Number of the Beast, which is a great song, but you'll never hear people going back and listening to, say, I was thinking, I'm not making my point here. But the thing that should not be. No one's ever going to go back and play the thing that should not be my Metallica. Because people only remember Metallica as well for a few songs. It's Master of Puppets every goddamn day.
Master of Puppets is a great song.
But again,
I was at a First Aid Kit concert. First Aid Kit is a Swedish folk band. They mostly sing sad, really depressing songs. As most of my music, apparently the music I listen to is depressing. I don't know, maybe I'm just edgy like that. And in the middle of the concert, suddenly War Pigs start playing. Excuse me? Am I at a War Pig? What? Am I at Sabaton now?
No, that's
Black
why.
Sabbath?
That's why. What we need to do is I proposed a scenario wherein Sabaton and Andrew Jackson Jihad just exchange a song to one another, so we can get Sean singing 40 to 1, and we can get Joachim Broden singing, like something like Brave as a Noun.
Alright. Guys, I know none of you are musicians in our fan base at this point in time. But if you are, what do you gotta do? You gotta do a rendition of Brave as a Noun and send it to me, and I'll listen to it, because that's like top 10 song right there.
Do an Irish language version as Brave as a Noun?
Yeah, I'd listen to that.
Working on it.
Weezer is a band that you listen to if you want songs that are like endlessly relatable in all the worst ways. It's a very strange band. It's like the pop version of AJJ, where it's all in the lyrics, I guess, in a strange way.
Yeah, I know that AJJ doesn't get as much attention, or at least didn't, because, it lacks the level of polished vocals that you find in some other kind of punk music.
Yeah.
But they have a kind of raw energy to them in the use of their messages. And then I find that everyone now is trying to imitate that kind of style. Now, the style of, I never formally learned how to sing. But I'm pretty sure Sean does know how to sing, and has formally learned how to sing, I bet you.
I bet.
It's just, he chose a very unique style to stake out for himself. And then I'll be listening to a good, a metal band. Like, there's a good one from Nova Scotia, a Blackmore is a good example. They're awesome, but they sound just like Metallica. Because even though they're a modern metal band, they are trying to be Metallica. Just like how I think every German, and especially Swedish, power metal band is trying to be Sabaton, because everyone wants to be Sabaton.
I mean, when you hear certain albums, like Christmas Island, you can tell they're trying to imitate,
House of the Dead.
Is that what you're looking at? House of the Dead? My
House
favorite Dreamcast?
Best music ever made. Superlatively good. Albert Chestreach is popular in my network.
Oh, sweet. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? But you can tell, in Christmas Island, that the AJJ's influence with Neutral Milk Hotel is definitely shining through there.
True.
You listen to some of the tracks and you're like, wow, that's really similar.
Well, he's a fucking ripoff with no talent. Jeez, I really see AJJ in a different light. Gets cancer.
Did your grandfather die of cancer from smoking one too many cigarettes?
Oh god, I'm afraid of my grandfather's cancer.
I love how... But he did quite confess that he was the coolest motherfucker around.
Yes. AJJ's taught me so many good life lessons. Like how since I'm a white man, I should get everything that I want.
Yeah. Or
and
how smoking will make you the coolest motherfucker around. And how you'll make millions in Camel Cash.
Yes, and how all of the music industry is just a bunch of fucking whores.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck you all.
Seriously, base what this video is becoming is go listen to AJJ or some metal or some shit.
Yes.
Listen, wake up, sheeple! You need to wake up from your music hole! You need to listen to some good shit, dudes!
You listen to your you listen to your fucking Bruno Mars. You fucking occasionally Fall Out Boy releases something and people are like, oh, Fall Out Boy's still alive. No.
No, isn't that like Green Day? Oh wait, Green Day's still a thing?
That's true. Is it Green Day? But Green Day has the great honor of having been good.
Once. Fall Out Boy had one good song, didn't they?
And then they made the new Ghostbusters theme, and they fucked it up.
Did they?
And by that I mean they covered the old one. And fuck that, man.
I have the old Ghostbusters theme.
Don't touch me.
Alright,
Don't touch me. I don't like to be touched.
I'm gonna fucking hipster this place up, motherfuckers. So I have the old... Hold on. Alright. I have the old Ghostbusters theme on a glow-in-the-dark vinyl from when it was originally released. It's beautiful.
That's pretty neat.
It's fucking green, glow-in-the-dark vinyl. And then I have the re-release a while back.
If you go upstairs to our album cabinet, you will find everything ever made by The Clash and multiple copies of it.
I have 2 copies of Get Behind Me, Satan, if I remember right, and 2 copies of Elephant.
But because of me, we have Saxon albums upstairs now. And I'm a douchebag because people are like, you know what, Saxon was great in the 80s when it was the new wave of metal. I'm like, nah, man. 2004, Lionheart. Best album they ever made. They're like, fuck you. I'm like, okay, allow me to list off the standout tracks. First off, can't do it. They're all amazing. Secondly, if I had to choose, it's going to be first place, obviously Lionheart. Terrific track. It's about Richard the Lionheart. Amazing. They open up with Witchfinder General. Can't have a stronger opening. Then, you've got To Live by the Sword. You've got Searching for Atlantis. You've got Justice, and Justice is terrific as well. If I had to even rank them, I would say To Live by the Sword is terrific just because of the line about the land of the Shogun, the breed of unbreakable steel, the most metal line ever, even though it's inherently untrue, because Japanese swords are shit. You know what? Someone has watched this far into the video and they are triggered now. They're like, what are you talking about? Polish my katana every day. It can cut through a tank.
Fuck you! I've got a Claymore, and it's gonna fucking fuck up your sword, you brittle ass piece of shit.
Oh my god. Oh my god. You guys, a shuriken just flew through the window.
Holy shit.
They're sending me a message.
Oh,
I'll have to retaliate with my Welsh longbow.
Shit, there's like a piece of paper tied to it. Guys, just throw bricks through the window.
Okay, Brendan, that's it. I'm getting the crossbow.
Alright,
get
the crossbow.
Fucking crossbow.
Get the crossbow. What does it say? Oh, fuck. Yo, the Claymore is a great sword. Don't even give me that bullshit about, like, it being slow and thus Samurai could close the distance on it. That's a fucking sweet crossbow, dude.
Motherfuckers, y'all gonna pay. Y'all's gonna pay.
Oh, fuck.
I'm loading this shit.
Watching Liam try to load a crossbow.
There we go.
Holy shit, he figured it out. I'm impressed by him.
Okay, God.
Aim away from my face.
I'm not gonna do it. My dad's gonna yell at me for property damage, but...
Weak.
I'll get the sword cane and I'll behead them that way.
Alright, get the sword cane.
Behead them with an incredibly
we'll get
tiny
the sword
blade.
cane. Yes. And so yeah, they're like... So the Claymore is the superior weapon because it is just so much heavier. Like, if you try to slash at someone, it's gonna fucking cut through them and their armor because of the weight of the Claymore. The sword cane's a pretty shitty weapon. It's not a Claymore. And it's certainly no quarterstaff that can cut through, well, quarterstaff's not a cutting weapon. But
On guard, fucker.
You can defeat 4 Spaniards with a quarterstaff.
Yes.
Fully armed Spaniards.
The problem with this sword is simply not long enough. It's shorter than a katana. And as we all know, length means everything.
That's why the Claymore is...
You know the Claymore is not an anti-infantry weapon, or it kind of is, but it's an anti-polearm weapon. It's meant to fight spears.
It's meant to fight whatever the fuck it wants to fight, Liam.
I will tell you, if you have a katana and you are fighting someone with a spear, it's a goddamn uphill battle, alright? There's a reason why the samurai did not wield the katana as their primary weapon. This has so much to do with music.
So much. We're on
By the way, To Live by the Sword. Terrific. I'm not even bagging on Samurai. 2 of my favorite metal songs. The aforementioned To Live by the Sword, and then also Sabaton's new Shirayama. Both about samurai.
Yo, but what's your favorite Simon and Garfunkel album? There's only like 3 to pick from, dude.
I think it's always Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Bridge Over Troubled Water?
That's kind of it.
Yeah, basically that's a good assumption.
Meanwhile, everyone is just like, they made the... I don't even think... This is the problem now. We live in a time where people don't necessarily care where things come from anymore. So people, in 20 years, people will be like, you guys remember that one song, you know... they'll be like, you guys remember The Sound of Silence? They'll be like, yeah, the Gears of War song. Or they'll be like, yeah, I actually no, that one was different. They didn't use. I was thinking Disturbed. The one Disturbed covered. What I was thinking is they'll eventually use Mrs. Robinson as a Gears of War theme. That was what I had thought yesterday. Is like it'll be Gears of War, and they'll be like intense fighting. And it'll be like, here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Jesus loves you more than you will know. Oh.
Oh fuck. We're doing it together now.
Yes. God bless you, please, Mrs. Robinson. Oh god.
Shoot, I can't remember the lyrics to it.
Okay. Shit.
Hey, you know, Seven Nation Army. Oh, you mean the song from that last Call of Duty trailer? The last 50 Call of Duty trailers? No. I mean by the White Stripes, asshole.
Yeah.
Not the fucking remixes.
Oh my god, that's awful. That is true. That'll never happen to Sabaton. No one will ever.
No one will remember Sabaton.
No one will remember Sabaton when they die, except me. When I'm like 80, and they'll be like, and I'll be like,
do you want Sabaton to play at your funeral?
I'm like, at my funeral.
Play 40 to 1.
Play 40 to 1, of course. And then, meanwhile, while everyone's trying to mourn me, it's just like, the captain has pledged his life. I'll face my fate here!
Holy fuck. You're gonna have the metalist funeral ever.
The sound of artillery strike. Stand fast, the bunkers will hold. By the way, Battle of Vitsna. I'm totally gonna make a video about this. Most badass battle ever fought by anyone.
Oh shit, is it?
800 Polish soldiers versus 42,000 Germans. No tanks. They literally were more heavily outnumbered than, like, the Spartans at fucking Thermopylae.
Yo, I have to remind people, because they've probably forgotten, unless you were from the 90s, like you were born in the 90s, when music was still good-ish. I was born in the wrong era! Music this day. I hate myself, by the way, if you're wondering.
Good on Sweden for not having shit music.
Yeah, Sweden has good music. Anyways, you will not remember The Offspring. I bet you haven't thought about The Offspring in like a year or two. Looks at Liam, and Liam's like, oh my god.
Peter Simon is here.
The Offspring was a band.
Yes, The Offspring was a band, thank you. The Cure was also a band.
The Cure, yeah, that's a pretty good
All the
one.
music I listened to when I was a kid was from the 70s and 80s. I listened to Ramones and Dead Kennedys, not by choice, but because it was the only thing that was there.
Yo, my earliest memory of the Dead Kennedys was, like, Holiday in Cambodia coming on through, like, Shuffle. My mother just switching it off of me like you wouldn't understand. I'm like, oh, alright.
First time I ever listened to metal was basically in high school. And it was like, my dad became such a square. He used to love Maiden. He used to love Saxon. And then he stopped. He brought up Saxon once, and then I was like, I should check this band out. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna base my entire identity around this band now.
I love how my mother...
Get ready to die, Simon.
Supposedly my mother knew
Blood
all
for the blood
lyrics
god.
to all of Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables. And she had no clue what they were about. And I'm like, I don't blame you. It was the 80s.
Oh my god.
No one really
Remember
knew.
when I sent you, like, at least one song by Hawkwind? The band you only listen to when you're on LSD?
Oh my god.
Hawkwind is some good fun.
Is it? Yeah, it is. I mean, when do you listen to the Irish Rovers? You don't, because you're trying to sing the lyrics, but you're too drunk off your ass to remember what they are.
I listen to the Irish Rovers all the time.
I listen to the Irish Rovers all the time.
Though, of course,
Our
like...
eyes, they shone like the diamonds.
They fit,
you
like...
say they'd be made out of tears.
They fit in the same group as, like, the Wolf Tones, except the Wolf Tones songs are all about how you kicked that one English dude's ass. Come out, you black and tans, come and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely heights of Kilishandra. It's the only time I sing is when I want to embarrass myself on YouTube.
Why are you embarrassing you? No, it's good. Don't worry. It's the music episode. No one will ever fucking watch it.
It's pretty funny, but yeah.
Watch us get talent scouted immediately.
It's pretty great because the Wolf Tones are like the angry version of the Irish Rovers.
Wow, it's 4:29.
Oh, you know who's great though is Silly Wizard, the Scottish equivalent. They're terrific. I know I sent you the Queen of Argyle. If you didn't listen to that shit.
You may need to send it again.
You're
I
awful.
probably just don't remember.
Oh God, you know, like
You send me things with foreign names, I won't remember.
Gentlemen, it is my duty to inform you of a beauty. Though I ask of you a favor, night to seek her for a while. You know, fucking Queen of all Argyle.
I don't know.
Oh man, and they also did Donald McGillivray. I know.
Donald McGillivray? Alright, send these to me.
And that one is sung in Scots, so you can't even understand what they're saying.
Scots, that degenerate language?
I mean, what? Donald was, Mumpets with Merds and Mockery.
Donald trousers?
Donald, was blinded with Blads of Property. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yo, are we just talking about Irish drunk songs? I kind of zoned out.
The thing is that eventually we get to Irish and Scottish folk, which is the very basis of my musical tastes.
You know, it's not mine. Mine is the White Stripes. You gotta go from the White Stripes and then...
I mean, I really got interested in folk metal from Cruachan because they blended Irish folk with metal. Though Nick's one idea to just let Cruachan keep playing throughout the entirety of a D&D session was a bit stupid. Because then eventually we got to the 9 Years' War, and I'm just singing along, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?" Oh, we got to the Brown Bull of Cooley, and the Brown Bull of Cooley was awesome. Well, because we started off with Disturbed, and it's like, why the fuck are we playing Disturbed during D&D? And that's like, play Brian Boru's March, and then after Brian Boru's March it's over, it's like, why the fuck are we playing Cruachan during D&D?
The moral of the story is don't play music during D&D, if you're wondering.
If you do, just play some instrumental folk music, I mean, honestly.
Like, I don't know, get Simon and Garfunkel, rip the lyrics out of it.
The March of the Zaporožian Cossacks.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun,
seriously
dun, dun,
though,
dun,
like, we have bad campaigns, because we have bad music choice for the campaigns.
Yes, okay. God damn it, I won't play Crusader while we're playing D&D. Though I will sing it at the beginning of every video.
Will you sing it at the beginning of every video from now on?
Maybe I should just go, like, line by line. I'll do, like, 2 lines each time, even though, like, yeah, just...
I don't know, it's kind of like what I'm doing with my thumbnails right now on my side of editing, where I just take a random picture off part of my desktop background. I just, like, say that's the thumbnail, and that's the entire video.
Oh.
Slowly you'll have a full baby's face, but until then...
The Saracen heathen will soon
Are you
taste
singing
our
to me,
steel.
my wife, my husband?
Our standards will rise across the land.
So,
in short, fuck you.
Fuck
Go
you.
away.
Your music taste are fucking terrible. Yours are fine.
But actually, I wanted to say in the end, just go and listen to...
In the end, it doesn't even matter.
Motherfuckers.
How hard you try.
Okay. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter to me.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Yes, of course. No, in any case, as if anyone can mimic Freddie Mercury.
Making my way downtown, walking face. Walking face.
This just became much weirder and more Lovecraftian. In the end, the Darkest of the Hillside Thickets, best band ever. Chilliwack, represent Chilliwack, British Columbia. Only sing about Lovecraft.
Why aren't we talking about Chilliwack? We didn't even bring up Chilliwack once in this whole video. What the fuck are we doing as Canadians who listen to 80s music?
Oh, by the way, Spirit of the West. Spirit of the West, Vancouver, Spirit of the West.
Yes, Heil Trump.
BC is just kind of too good when it comes to music. They beat the shit out of us. Unless you like metal, which in that case I recommend Windsor.
Do we have some good... We have a white supremacist record label. We did, at least.
There's a good band... There's a good local band in Windsor called Dirt. They're really awesome. But if you want a great band to come out of Windsor that has gotten mainstream love, then I would suggest, obviously, Woods of Ypres.
I know... I think I'm partially related to the singer of Grand Maris. Yes, that's a band you should check out if you can. You probably can't, though. They're on iTunes, I think.
If I ever create a band, no one steal this name. I'm gonna name it after Grandpappy Canmore.
Didn't we already choose a name earlier in this video?
Yeah, weren't we? I thought earlier we just decided we were the Dreary Erie Band.
No, we got an actually good name in the middle of this video. I can't remember what it was.
Oh yeah, no, okay. I remember what we were going to do. I remember the use of it. We're gonna have to go back through this video. Be like, yeah.
Oh shoot!
It was probably something history related, honestly.
No, it was something very random. I think we should use Walking Face.
Yeah, Walking Face. Oh my god, I've come up with a billion band names over the years.
You just come up with band names by accident.
I'll make a Saxon cover band called Anglo-Saxon.
I'm Anglo-Saxon, the Saxon cover band.
Oh my god, they kill me. They kill me right away. Alright, our name is East Anglian.
We're East Anglian?
Get ready for our first performance. Our name is Simon's Ghost.
Simon's Ghost? Are we killing Simon? Can we do a Neutral Milk cover band and call ourselves Anna's Ghost?
Deus Volt!
Are we doing this for the Crusades?
God wills it. Be pleased, my lord. Like and subscribe. Subscribe.